Gunplay in Valorant is first and foremost the core gameplay mechanic, but agent abilities on top of this sometimes can make everything a challenge to balance. At the First Strike event, we had the chance to ask players about ability diversity, and if in the future Riot does decide to add shields and barriers, like rumors suggested that they might have at one point, would this take away from what makes Valorant, Valorant?
I don't think it would damage Valorant's identity. It's like Sage. Sage has like a barrier, you know? It's just like depends on how people are gonna play around it. So, you know, I don't really like the sound of barriers, but, you know, if they do it, then we'd have to adapt to it.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think that will ever happen, like a Reinhardt type fucking situation in Valorant, but if it did happen, yes, I do not think people would like that. I think it would be pretty bad for the game, so I'm sure they're gonna stay away from that because they know that, you know, shields and stuff probably don't belong.
Yeah, I think Valorant will, like, I think they've already said that they won't introduce like shields and shit, but if there came a time where they did, I think the game would just like immediately go to shit. I think you can't have shields or characters with like extra health in this game. I just don't think that's something that actually works. Otherwise, I think it will just turn into Overwatch, and I don't like playing Overwatch. I feel like in Overwatch it's hard to be someone that can make or break it for your team, you know, through individual skill, because in Overwatch the time to kill is just like so large a lot of the time, and I think what makes Valorant is the fact that someone can do that. Someone can kill you in, you know, 0.1 seconds and you'll just die instantly. And I think as soon as you introduce a shield character or whatever, anything like that, that's just not a possibility, and I think it reduces the likelihood that a player can carry, and I think a player should be able to carry. And I think that if a player isn't able to carry, then it's just, I don't think it's a good game.
I mean, I did play Overwatch at a somewhat high level, and it is just very frustrating to shoot and do no damage. Like, that's not a very rewarding experience. So I don't think Riot will ever add that. I hope not. But maybe they'll get to a point where, like, they want to add an agent every 3 months. Eventually, they're going to run out of ideas. I don't know if they'll stop making agents or make compromises on, like, the integrity, how it's played. But I don't think that will be added, and I hope it won't be added.
I don't think it'd be harmful because right now there's all sorts of abilities already. So like I wouldn't be like surprised if there was a shield, or surprised if there was like a agent stealing another agent's ult, like some random ability. There's already like variety of it, and we've adapted well to all of them. So I don't think we'd have a problem with some sort of shield like Overwatch, for example. I definitely think people that came from Overwatch would be familiar more with it, and they'd have like some sort of advantage at the start. But I think, like I said earlier, we're good at brainstorming, and I think we did that pretty well. So I don't think it'd be an issue.
I would be surprised if Riot hasn't internally tested shield agents, and I would imagine that it slows down the pace. It changes the game too much in a way that they probably don't want. I know that a couple of the Riot devs have came out and said, you know, no, we're not going to add shields. No, we're not going to keep adding chip damaging abilities. So I personally think that shields are the wrong way to go.
Yeah, I don't think that shields or like barriers like that, where you're literally able to stop, you know, like shots going through to someone. I already can see that being just really bad. You know, like for example, in a precise aiming game like this, like CS, and not like Overwatch, a little bit in Overwatch, but you know, I can already see if there was shields, like headshot angles you can make that you can make in the middle of nowhere that it's almost impossible to kill you without knowing you're there. And I think there's already been proven with just the amount of stage nerfs just from that wall. The wall's been nerfed like maybe 2 or 3 times already, maybe more. And I think they've already. It almost feels like they feel like bad about putting it in the game, but you know, they just can't remove it. It's not that simple. So yeah, like I said, you know, I don't think barriers have a place in a precise aiming game like this.
I think it would be game breaking. I wouldn't want to see that happen. If I'm being honest, I enjoy the defaulty style of play, like the more CS:GO oriented play, and I think the Overwatch style is with adding these abilities. You know, sure. Like having the abilities and not having this huge shield protecting us as we enter a site. You know, like there's a lot of shit going on in a site take. So,
I mean, I'm sure Riot will if the it's like a thing that in the future could happen, I think Riot would make it in a way like that would be fair and they would listen to the community. So I don't think it would be necessarily a bad thing, to be honest. Like we'd have to see once the time comes, because I don't know. Before Valorant came out, we were thinking like the healing and stuff, or that wall and stuff wasn't going to be good, but you're gonna have to be able to adapt to it. So I'm pretty open to it. I don't think any type of character will necessarily like break the game, because everyone has their own voice, and then people will voice like if there's an OP character, and then things usually get done. So I'm not really too worried about like what'll happen or any OP characters type of thing. I think I'm open to any type of characters really.
Yeah, I honestly feel like it would have a negative effect. I mean, even this Killjoy turret, I feel like didn't need to be into the game. But yeah, I feel like shields would just make a negative impact, honestly. Just negative, negative, negative after negative. I see no positives, honestly.
This video was made possible thanks to our wonderful patrons. A massive thank you to everybody on this list, and shout out to Jason, Foxy, Lyra, Mauve, Nate, Nathan, Sierra, Sammy, Shampoo, Weeaboo, and Spartacus for being Platinum supporters. And an extra special shout out to Noodles, Marco, and Steven for being Diamond supporters. Thank you so much, everybody. If you also want to support our channel and unlock perks, check out the Patreon link in the description below, or join our Discord server. If you want to help us out in a different way, leaving a like, subscribing, and hitting the bell to stay up to date is also appreciated. My name is Nikita, and thank you for watching.